Well, it's 6 in the morning and I'm gonna go run 8 miles right now. I don't know, but I couldn't sleep and unfortunately I didn't go run last night or last morning with my coach, Mr. Ramirez. Thanks to him that I'm getting a lot inspired by him. Motivation. I'm about to eat some protein. I already took my 2 pills for energy, but I'm about to eat these like three eggs. You guys still like see this, so I really can't crack it with one hand, but uh, it's still a little bit. More shake. People are probably like crazy to be going this early. Probably do tomorrow morning too. I don't know, but I can't give up this marathon. Alright. Bon appetit. Okay. Bon appetit. Ah. Work hard, play hard.
All right, welcome back, guys. We're on a 10-mile run. We're on our way back. One huge mistake that you should never do, or at least forget to do, is not use the restroom. I'm on my way back, and I feel like I'm about to shit my pants. Yeah, I thought I had used the restroom multiple times. I thought I was good. I came back on my way back, 5-mile point. I started feeling it, and so that's why I'm slowing down right now. I'm gonna head to the local Starbucks here. We'll see if I make it. We're going over today's video later on preparing, the preparation and the planning on how you can run a marathon on a budget. Welcome back. We made it back home. We were able to stick to our 10-miler run, our weekly commitment. Thankfully, there was that Starbucks there. That mistake that I made, I honestly thought I had gone enough prior to the run to avoid that. But today we're going to be going over our plan that you see behind me for the next couple months. We're going to be going over how I was able to fund my first marathon, commitment, what it takes to do that, and then also my plan, and then how you can plan to run your next marathon. But not even that, really just how commitment really matters, mindset really matters. And if you're trying to get your first home, or you're trying to get your dream girl, or whatever it may be, how commitment, self-improvement, and overall mental, how mental it is, and how much more mindset matters than anything else, because you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the mentors in the world, but if you don't get up and if you don't do it, if you don't take action, then none of that matters. Let's talk about commitment. So if I know one thing about commitment, is that when I was 16 years old, I really wanted to run a marathon. I met Mr. Ramirez, who was a stellar athlete. At the time, I didn't really have money. I was working at KFC and I was trying to graduate high school. But I really wanted to buy a bunch of things. Marathon's not cheap. It's a couple $100 to enter the race. And it's also a couple $100 to try to, have the supplements and the gear that you need. So I had a bright idea, and Mr. Ramirez was able to help me buy chocolate bars that I could flip from $1 to $3. And that's pretty much how I was able to fund my marathon. But yeah, it took me some time, but it was good times. I remember going to Target and just being out in the parking lot, getting kicked out, and just, mentally being committed to it. And especially when it would rain and I didn't want to run, or I didn't want to sell chocolate, I remember it was really difficult. So aside from being committed to be able to make the money and self-improve in that way, another thing that I recommend doing is having it on paper. This is a little bit of what I'm planning to do. If you're struggling with sticking with things, especially something like running a marathon or buying a home, I really strongly recommend writing something like this. It's just my goals at the top, which is losing weight, continuing to be zero alcohol, and then getting at least 6 hours of sleep, and then obviously getting closer to God. Those are a couple goals that you can do on paper. That way you have a mental, not only a mental note, but also on paper, exactly what it is that you're looking to commit to. And then here's kind of like the plan for the next 3 months on how I'm going to accomplish what I want to do. So aside from selling chocolate, or just getting a side hustle, right? If you want to run a marathon, whatever it is that you want to do, doing the most so that you can get to that, and also writing it down really helps. All right, so let's talk about planning. The good old quote says that if you fail to plan, that you're planning to fail. And that's very true. And that's why I try to stick to a plan. And if you're failing to, stick to something, then it may be because you're not planning to do so. So it's very important to not only mentally know what you're going to do, but also have something like this, or on paper, a daily reminder saying that what you're going to be doing every day. In my case, running a marathon or whatever it may be, getting your first home or paying off debt, you need a plan. So let's start off with my plan, which is for the week. If you're looking to run a marathon, then stick around, because you can also follow this schedule. It may not be 8 miles every day and a long run of 10. You can start with as little as much as you can, trying your best, and then doing one long run once a week, and then even having to walk that long run. But it's important to start small, right? All right, so now let's get started with the month of December. It's important to know that if this is your first week running and planning for a race, that you start somewhere right here where you're going to start running. In my case, because I've already been training, we're going to be starting in December on the 5th. We're going to be doing a long run of 10 miles. I've worked my way up from, I think my long run like a month ago was 6 miles. I've worked my way up every other week to adding 2 miles. Now we're at 10. It's going to be 10 miles, then strength training. Then for 3 days, we're going to commit to running at least 8 miles. 8 miles, 8 miles, 8 miles. Then Saturday, we're going to strength train, because it's important that not only do we, exercise our legs and our cardio, but also our, whole body. And then on that day, Saturday, we'll do a light run of 5 to 6 miles. Then Sunday, it's important to not only recover, but also to carb up and get ready for your long run on Monday. All right, so that's pretty much it for the schedule on how it will look for December. Following January, this is going to go up, the long run for 2 miles. It'll be at least a 14 to 16 miler. Then these will go up by 2 miles as well. So it'll be, instead of 8, it'll be 10, 10, 10. Then for February, the last month, definitely you want to focus more on running rather than strength training. So strength training will go, and we'll just be going, the long run for February will be anywhere from 16 to 22 miles once a week. And these 8 milers will go all the way up to anywhere from 10 to 12 miles, 10 to 12, 10 to 12 miles, and no strength training. Just we'll add another running day and then another recovery day, but no strength training in February, just so that we don't exhaust ourselves and try to, focus on cardio and just running 100%. All right, so that's pretty much it. You saw the preparation and the planning that it takes for the next 3.5 months, making sure you incorporate the strength training, the recovery, the carbing up, and then those long runs once a week. Like I said earlier, if you're on a budget, you can definitely do this. Making sure that you do whatever it takes. If you're a kid and you can't really get a full-time job, then, just like myself, I was selling chocolate at 16 years old to fund my first marathon. Then, you could do something similar, but it all depends on how committed you are. And aside from the commitment and the mental notes that you can make to yourself, so that can help you get to your goals, there's so many other ways and things that you can do to get there and accomplish your goals. So if you're interested in real estate, mortgage, or the journey of running a marathon, then I strongly suggest that you follow the journey and subscribe. If you find value in these videos, we'll be coming out with a video on Wednesdays and Saturdays around those topics. Thank you so much for sticking around. And that's the schedule, the commitment, and then the plan that we talked about today. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.